Oh, what's going on? Oh man, the video's making its move already. All right, all right, all right, all right. Whoop. All right. Let's get this party moving. Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, people? How you doing? Good morning. What is up? Dude, good to see everybody. Let's go. All right, let's roll. Oh, bum, 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 bum. Hold on, Rob. Let me okay. All right, got it. Sorry, I was just making sure everybody gets in okay. Good morning, people. Good morning, Americas. Dude, we got things to do, as they say. Man, a lot of things to do. We got NVIDIA earnings out. Not really much of a reaction just yet. You know, the big NVIDIA party was, it got nasty for a hot second, and then we ramped it. So I would say really nothing has changed. -3% is just like a normal day for it, right? It moves 5% a day. It's got, a 4% move already, 3% move. It's actually under the ATR for the most part. It should have some range back and forth today, but I don't think you're getting the big. It doesn't look like we're getting the big tankola on this thing, so no big fireworks. Will it go red to green? Probably not. It might chop around a little bit. But hey, shit, it's hanging. It's hanging. Let's get this party started, man. We got things to do. We got things to do. Let's take a look at these indexes and let's shred. Yeah, you know what? It looked nasty yesterday for a hot second because when the NVIDIA earnings came out, you could see like in the post market, man, you were down to 464. And dude, the market is opening up. It's opening up green. I mean, today could be the bounce day, right? We've been grinding down for a few days, swallowing this NVIDIA down move and ramping it back. Like we very well, this could be the day that, the market kind of rips back and breaks out. You can see Apple's really pushing here too. And so we have, all across the board, just like a nice, I think a nice setup here. I mean, shit, even the big turd MU is green right now. So my thinking is, look at this. We're all starting to top tick on all these. My thinking is, the market digesting this NVIDIA earnings, especially, it looked nasty for a second just to rip it back, 10 points in the morning. And market digesting this probably gets us maybe the potential catalyst we need to get out of this QQQ. We're nuzzled right under the 50-day moving average, right under the 9-day moving average. So we do need to bust over this to really get anything going. But if we do, then then we got something here. So keep an eye. I want you to mark out these two levels here. You have 473 and then you got 474. What I usually do is on my T2000, see how you just like in light blue, I keep the 9 EMA and then I keep the 20 marked out on the daily. So that way, like when you're day trading, you have like the 3 moving averages right in front of you. You don't have to like sit there and look at the daily chart. You already know, right, what's on top. So you can see here, right, we're about 80 cents away from the 9 and about $1 and some change, right, away from the 50. So when we break over that, that's when we're gonna have some fun. So let's get into, dude. Let's go in and let's do the Lord's work here. We got a big, dude. I think we're kind of pushing across the board here. So let's see what else we got going on here on the IWM. We tapped into the 9 EMA yesterday. Look at 216, right into the close, and in the post market we hit it. Now we got a green candle to hold on this. So we got the breakout, and then we got to pull back into the 9. We were looking at this area, right, to kind of get long. It happened at the close, so I didn't really play it. Now we've got, right, this big kind of rampy McGee happening here. This is hot, right? That's hot to trot. That is hot to trot. So let's, dude, that's gonna be a nice little fun too. Because when the IWM is going, right, we got a whole host of other stocks we can start to trade. That's gonna be your UPSTs and Robloxes. You can see here you've got a level even on UPST that's just riding. UPST does this every time it makes a run. It makes a run like every handful of months. And what it does is it'll just ride up the 9 EMA for like a month, and then it just dumps, and it dumps out of nowhere because it's a turd. So you can see here, it did very, very similar. It'll double, maybe go up even a double and a half, and it'll just ride up the 9 EMA, and then at some point it just fugazis. And then you can see, like, even in May of last year, right, you just rode up the 9 EMA this whole time. You tripled, and then you had this dump, and then 9 EMA, 9 EMA, 9 EMA, and then you got the big mamma jamma. So it likes to do this. I suspect it's because the float's pretty low, and it usually gets good volume. So, like, it's in that kind of 9 EMA push right now where you can kind of just keep day trading it for a handful of, month or so on and so forth. But I think with the IWM going today, we want to look at, some of these kind of mid-cappy names. I wouldn't even be opposed to, dicker and dealing with maybe some ASTS here, right? Sitting on the 20 SMA on a red to green or something along that end. So let's see what else is going on. First, I want to take a look, and let's just bring up the gappers real quick. Let's see what type of news plays are out there, what type of PR plays are out there, and then let's shred. Hold on here for 1 second. I got to get my serums on. Every 8 minutes, you got to put a next layer on, baby. Every 8 minutes. Oh, yeah. Woo. Oh, yeah. Just get that serum on. Evan, you don't got to worry about that, you young man. But the rest of us, we got to do it. Whoa. Now, yes, CRM also has earnings. I think that's going to also bode well for the market. So let's take a look. I think the indexes themselves look like a go, right? They look like a go if they can hold. Now, if these gaps fade, we'll kind of look at it and we'll have to flip everything. But so far, we look like a go, at least on the Qs and the spot. Now, bum. Let's see what else is going on. First, let's just dig in and see if we got any kind of news out or anything like that. All right, so you got 8:30, you got the GDP that's out of the way, corporate profits, blah, 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 10 a.m., pending home sales. I don't think any of this is anything. T-bills, blah, blah, blah. Events for today, you got the jobless claims, home sales, which we already, not really much of a reaction yet on those things. Boom. You got a whole host of turdy McGee's going here. A firm is pushing today. Look at this bad boy. Oh, blast from the past. Guys, let me just tell you something. Life is a lot better when UPST and a firm are going. They really are. You got the squeezy McGee on a firm right now, so that's going to be probably top of the list if we get a poll. And then you got a bunch of just turds over here. Downside movers. Nothing really. Okta, meh. Let's see. Yeah, Okta had earnings. We can put that on the watch list too. Bum. And then top upgrades, Foot Locker, junk, Kava, downgrade. But still equal weight. I wouldn't really worry about this one. And then ENPH, FSLR got some stuff from Blair. Let's see if there's any juice on ENPH. Nah, not much yet. And then Tesla got an outperform also. So we'll keep an eye on those three too. PayPal expands with Pfizer. Previous new maps. SMC had the nasty news out yesterday. That's probably still a fade. Look, NVIDIA's got a whole host of upgrades. Notice again, no Forte, but by rating, upgrade. They're defending the motherfucking hell out of this thing. Then we got, this is important, right? You got Affirm, Okta, CRM, Crowd. So we've got a whole host of these earnings plays that we're really going to need to take part of, right? You got to definitely come in on some of these bad boys. So let's add all three of these. So I want you to add in the Crowd for sure, NVIDIA, CRM, Okta, Affirm. I mean, we got a whole host of these things now. Affirm, Okta. I mean, we could even do maybe Guess, NVIDIA, Crowd, Guess, HPQ. We'll take a look at all these. And then Dell is tonight. And then look at this. We got BBWs, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we got Dell After Hours, Marble, and MDB, and Lulu's. Okay, so we got a little busy day here. Not bad. All right. Well, let's get into these charts and see what's going on and how the heck we're going to play them. Oh, man. We got a busy day today. All right. So, Affirm's got earnings out here. Look at this thing. Right? You've got this huge kind of channel that it's been stuck in. I don't even know what you'd call this. Channel? Right? Something along that end. You got a huge channel here, and then you've got a pocket here at 40 that if you can get over, you've got room to go. So you got this. Now the question becomes, well, it is up 24%, right? So it's going to need a pull at some point, but its float is low enough where you could do an ORB on it. But ideally, a little bit of a pull would be very helpful, and then kind of a show and go if it can take out. If it could take out this 40, I think we're in for a good spot here. This is nice, real nice. All right. Hold on here. Let's add that. Let's add that. Now you look, you got CRM here too. All right. So CRM, you got nice range break. See how it's like nuzzled against this 200-day moving average for quite some time. So you kind of tested into it and failed. Tested into it, failed. Tested into it, failed. And now you're finally breaking out over this thing, right? So now you got this gap that's just filled here, right, from the nasty news before. And woof, we've got all this kind of upside into this. Now, look, it's a thicker stock. It's probably not going to move like 20% today or anything like that. You might have a couple more percent left in it. It's a billion share float, $250 billion company. But in general, I think we got a spot on this thing. Let's add this one also. PDD, this one's been dusted. I think this one you leave alone. These are all from yesterday. Man, this ANF was key yesterday, huh? Look at how clean that was. Good. Now, I want to talk to you about Crowd. That was the next one. So look at this. Crowd itself also got a really just kind of weak open on this one. But only down about 1%, right? So I think this is going to be in play. We don't necessarily know which way it's going to go just yet. But that is, you're talking just like a small open. I wouldn't be surprised in this market to see this thing go red to green. Need to maintain a buy rating on Crowd, but cut the price target. Let's see here. Let's see. This is briefly up on prospecting. Blah blah blah. Let's see what kind of numbers we got on this thing. CrowdStrike guidance estimated 30 million subscription revenue remaining. Blah blah blah. They kind of pretty much just match it. So that big kind of blowout where they took down all the airports of the world, it looks like there's probably minimal impact on their earnings so far. And they're saying even in the future, it might not be too crazy. I think this has got a chance here. Let's see how this opens up. If it taps back into this, it's already in the bone zone here. Let's see if we remount back through the 9 EMA, we might have something there. And you know what? It very well could, fade off too. But we want to make sure we got a good location on this. Let's add that. That's top of the list. Now I want you to also add in Kava today, right? If you see here, it ramped down after its earnings because one of their investors sold like 7 million shares, give or take. If you see here, though, man, it is like just coalescing into a flag. You got a couple of very narrow range days, a couple of very narrow range days here, and you got a flat open on this one. For the most part, it's down a couple percent. I think we're right up the alley on this one. 112 is the 9 EMA. Dude, we flush into that or we get close to it. I think we want to start looking to see if maybe that's got a little happy. You can see HPQ had earnings out. This stock sucks to trade. Look, it's got an 85-cent ATR. So I do see, like a couple of people are asking about, I do see the kind of something, but it just sucks to trade. 80-cent ATR, you can't really do much on it. And now we're gonna have to see what NVIDIA does, right? Like if it ends up breaking, down, it's in no man's land right now. Like even if it breaks down this range here from pre-market, you got all this kind of pockets down here, and you got this kind of right here. So I think the zone, where it might speed up to the downside if it does, is down here, right? But till that comes in, you got to kind of leave it alone and just, say this is a digestion day for it. It'd been kind of hanging out at 130 for a while. Probably a nothing burger for us today. Like there's probably not much to do on it in terms of the play. To me, it looks like a leave alone. It's a leave alone, but you watch it, you watch it to see the kind of a gauge of what everybody else is doing or where everything else goes, but otherwise we kind of leave that bad boy alone for now. Bum, 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 bum. Yo, Vrax got nailed yesterday, huh? All the chasers got fucked on this thing. Dude, small cap life, right? Like when you have this kind of tail here, sometimes they'll do that. They had news out, but nothing, it wasn't really doing anything. Now you got the bum, 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 bum. Yeah, retail stocks, I'd leave that alone. Now, this one I can get behind. So, look, this is Okta. You've got a level here right at 80, all right? You got a level here at 80, a little bit of a magnet. It's a pretty low float stock, even though it's a $16 billion company. It tends to trade aggressively, like a little bit, because it's thinner. It's got a spread on it. I think this one, you can get this thing down into 80, then we'll see kind of what's up. So I want to add this one. If we get a little pop at the open, I think we can get a chance to, orb life this one or hit on the pullback. Overall, it's just this has got a good look to it. What do you think? Yeah. Man, that's nice. Let's add that. That's right up our alley. Cool. Now let's see what other kind of turdy McGee's we got out here. All right. Hey Nolan, what's up, baby? Let me see this knee for you. Hold on, brother. Is this the one? Yeah, I see it. So look, the thing with this one, is the ATR on it's a buck, right? It's 1%. And so you're kind of, you're going to try to, you're going to kind of bleed out. You can have the hottest setup on this thing and you nail it, and it's going to move 30 cents, right? So you got to be a little bit careful when you're doing these because you just don't get, man, you just don't get that hot heat on it. Yeah, I think that one's going to be a little bit tricky. A little bit tricky. Probably more of a swing trade setup. I'm not sure if we got anything. It's all right. Hey, look at this loosey goosey. Whoa. Yo, if you like launches, Lucid Light frames on Target.com. Hey, look at that. A little Target. Hey, this stock ran to 25 bucks just a little bit ago, and it recently did a reverse split. So the float on this is going to be really small. I mean, it's only a handful of $1 million company. Dude. You could pump this. This thing could pump. Not my particular flavor, but if I was a little bit younger, a little bit more stupid, I would definitely partake. This is for the 27 to 32 crowd. You got to be in that kind of age range to want to trade all this. Man, fucking ASTS is already going. Shit. Added, if you like small caps, that's your one. AZI, this is probably a nothing burger. Affirm, we need a piece of this at some point, guys. We really do. It's, there's not many stocks that are still left from the old days, right? There's not many stocks left from the old days that are still like with these big bases. And see, it's got the serpent, right? It's got the serpent setup because the snake is like, that's the hot setup of the year. And you see, right? You got the neck, you got the snake. Dude, you got to pet that snake, man. Got to pet that snake. Dude, lovely. BBY, Best Buy. Yo, good earnings place today, right? It looked like earnings season was kind of done, but check this out. So let's go into like a little bit of a different chart here. Let's check out the weekly, right? A nice weekly. You can learn a lot from a weekly. You can learn a lot from a weekly. So this is from 2022. This 94 is huge, right? So now you're breaking over the 200-day moving average on the weekly, which has been like resistance for a couple years, right? It's been resistant since 2022. It tried once in 2023, tried once and failed in 2024. Now you busted through. And so you got this huge base. Look at this thing. Whoa, there's a buenos. That's a muchos and a buenos. We're doing muchos and the buenos. Yo, this retail stocks stink to trade. This one may give us some juice. It actually has a history on earnings day of giving some decent ranges at the open. Yeah, it's got a history of doing that. So you can roll with that. Hey, by the way, TC2000's new news feed is really actually pretty good. They updated this thing. There's all sorts of little goodies that you can do now. And you can make little boxes for everything. So what you can do, so if you have a set, what you got to do, so if you have a set group of stocks, so the one thing I don't like about the newsfeed is, say you have this flag symbols here, right? You can't connect that to a newsfeed and then get like all the news just for those symbols, right? Like you can only do like all of them, like everything. or you can do it by section, or like you can click like individual and then pair them with the individual symbol. So then you'd have to kind of go like one by one, right? And be like, all right, like this is GCI, right? Hey, this is Space Mobile, right? This is Kava. So that's a little bit time intensive. But what you can do is if you go on TC2000, I know I'm backtracking here a little bit, but if you go on TC2000, you make an account called Newsfeed. Just buy like on the T2000 simulator one share of like all these kind of stocks that you want to watch, and then what you can do is there is in a way to connect your positions. See that? So there is a way to connect your positions. So you can do positions, and now you get all the stocks that are on like your watch list that you like to trade, right? So if you have a set group of stocks and you're always like, man, I wonder if there's any upgrades on them, right? Like, so like if you have, see here, like it says Anna ratings and notes, and it says all symbols here. So you're going to get all the upgrades, which upgrades is a big portion of what we do, right? Like, I mean, upgrades in a hot market can really nail some things going. So if you want to do this, like what you can do, so this is all symbols, but if you can go to positions, now you'll see all the upgrades just from your positions, right? So you see like Tesla, Meta, all of this kind of stuff. And it's been saving me some time. The only issue is, right, you got to go into T-Style Simulator, buy one share of all the random stocks that you want to get the news on, and then you'll be good to go. So I digress for a second, but I thought that was a nice new feature here. If anybody needs this layout, hold on, I'll send it to you guys. Whoop! If anybody needs a layout, you can shred and then mess around with it a little bit. You can mess around with it a little bit, and you'll be good to go. Now let's get back into this. Where were we? So we were at the BBWs, right? This, I think we need to add. Retail stock's not that fun to trade, but I think this one, it actually moves pretty good. Also, what's more fun than going to Best Buy? Really? Just love that, right? Back in the day when Best Buy came out, you'd go there, grab yourself a couple CDs, play on the Xbox. Phew, that was a good time. All right, we got ELNC. This is an oil company pass. Iron. Oh. Anybody got the news on this thing? Let me see here. Iron. Oh, this is earnings. Hey, this, you know what? If you like small caps, this is actually right up our alley here. Let's add this iron. That's not bad. Old Nokia. Nokia is an interesting one because it just never moves. It moves 10 cents a day. That's its ATR. But Nokias are awesome. Like for you ladies out there, Nokia, you should have Nokia phones because it's like you got one of those Nokias. I mean, it's a weapon and it's a cell phone. That way nobody's getting handsy with you guys. Dude, those Nokia phones are like nice bricks. I mean, you can really go places with that. I'd roll with that. I mean, the stock we can't do anything with, but the phone. If I had a daughter that was like 16, she's rolling with the Nokia phone, not any iPhones. Now we got NBDL, junk. Hey, this BZ was nasty. Arvin, did you hit this yesterday? Hey, Thayer, that's a really good list, by the way. Joshy Vigo. Yo. Man, you could get a day 2 on this, but I'm not sure. All right, let's see what else we got here. Junk. All right, let's see if we got any gappers on the downside. Yo, Dollar General getting smoked. This is up our alley because look, you're taking out all these lows down here. You broke under 100. Now you're starting to base out. If you start to pop in, say you kind of retest down into this or pop through, like I think this is actually going to have some decent range on it. Nice. Let's add this too. There, I think you got that on your list. It's good. Eso buenos. Octa we talked about. DLTR also. Amid headwinds. Dude, the dollar store is a magical place too. Dude, magical place. Yo, I'm into it. All right. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, I think we had both of these. This might be a little bit easier to trade than the other one because it's just down a little bit less. I like it. I like it. Yo, AEO's at earnings out too. Sucks to trade though. Revenues rise. You could do it. You got a level over here that, if it busts through, you could do, but nothing. It's not that sexy. Ja. All right. Yeah, Dell earnings after hours, so probably a leave alone for now. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, pass. Dude, the day before earnings, everything acts like just a little bit tricky. Natural gas is in the huge shitter here. Dude, my dad's like knee deep in this boil again. I hear him talking to all his friends. He's trying to get all his friends to buy it to make it go up. Yeah, pass. It does look like a breakdown, but cool. Now, let's kind of rejigger this thing. So, I want to add in a firm. First pullback or ORB, we can hit this thing, all right? But you can't chase it up 25%. Let it pull back a little bit. You may have to even switch to a 2-minute chart, and then you'll get it, all right? We got BBWs. Dude, you got big range break over here. It's been this $100 mark is huge, right? We want to see how this starts to set up. If you get an opening range breakout on this, dude, we gotta be the boots and the coots on this thing. It's a good God-fearing Christian stock right there. If you like these smaller ones, I think with NVIDIA not tanking now, you probably get a little bit of a pop and hold in Bitcoin as long as this hangs out around 60,000. This iron's got a chance too. You got a nice W pattern on this. Woof. It's got a good look to it, don't it? Add that. CRM a little bit slower. It's going to be a little bit slower, but dude, it's got a chance too. CRM's got a little bit slower, but it's got a chance too. Hey, SMTC had its earnings out yesterday. Look, it's got a huge base on this one, and it gapped up and then it just kind of tanked and then it ramped the rest of the day here. And it really had a nice trend going on it. I think this is ripe for a day 2 play. If NVIDIA holds up and it does not tank, then the semiconductors should have a little bit of a rally, a relief rally, because everybody was scared that this thing was going to fall off the cliff. Now you've got a flat open on this one. I think you can have a day 2 play on it. It had a 6 million shares. It had 6 million shares in volume, so it's just enough to kind of get going. And then let's talk about some day 2s. This box was incredible yesterday. You also have like a multi-year range on this. Let me go to a little bit better chart, a little bit of a weekly chart. But you can see here, you got a multi-year range setting up on this. You had the nice gap on it yesterday. You had follow through. I think this is probably, it had really good range. You can see like you popped through a couple bucks, came back, popped through a couple bucks. Its float is only 89 million. So it had 10 million shares in volume, float 89 million. That's a good ratio right there. I think you got a chance on this bad boy too. Now I got a couple other ones I want to look over. I like this Redfin here. right? Redfin got up to 11.98. Now you've pulled all the way back into the 9 EMA. This is a good looking stock right here. You want to be into some of these real estate stocks, I think, as they start to cut the interest rates and stuff. Like, you've got a huge base on this thing. Pulling right back into the 9, might need just a little bit more pull. And then I think it's got to look comp. This is what I'm currently in right now, but I'm trying to find some ways to add a little bit more because I sold some. But this has a huge multi-year base on this thing. So you can see this thing was at 23. Big base on this. Now you started to push through. You got 1 day, 2 days of just like light pullback. You're starting to build out a little bit of a flag there, and you're really just starting to tighten up. I think you got a good look on this too. Let's add this one to the watch list. I think this has got a chance. If the small caps hold, what you got to do when you trade these kind of names, watch the IWM, right? Watch the IWM. If this is holding up, then you're in a good spot to take some risk on some small cap, mid cap names. But if it doesn't, like say it just reverses its gap over, then it's going to be a big turn. Now, you're right, DOCS. DOCS has got a big level over here at 37. I wouldn't read too much into this candle right now. I don't think it's actually busted through. There's no volume on it yet. Dude, if this thing busts at 37, it should have a nice pop. Now, the thing with this one is it trades a little bit thin, right? It's not like it lacks just a little bit of liquidity on it. And so you do got to be careful and watch your size on it. Hey, MU, let me take a look here. So hold on here. Get rid of this thing here. So if you go in on MU, you've pulled back now $10. It's in no man's land. So it's not at the breakout. It's not at support. It's kind of stuck inside range. I think those are the most difficult trades to make because you don't have anything like any wind at your back. You don't have a source of demand that says like, okay, we got to get in at this spot, right? You're under resistance, lots of resistance. You got the 20, the 9, the 200, the 50, right? You're under everything, but you're also not at support. So I think this one's just a little bit more tricky. I think it's due for a relief bounce. What I mean by relief bounce is it's kind of oversold, right? It's dropped $20 in the last, handful of days. So it is a little bit oversold. I think it's probably due for a relief bounce, but it's not necessarily like, I wouldn't go in with like, this is like the hottest thing around. Does that make sense? Cool. Dude, guys, let's go and have some fun today. You know what we got to do? Oh, man. We got to do it. We got a lot of stuff we got things to do, baby. Good. Guys, I'm hopping into the Discord. I'm hopping on Zoom right now. Gentlemen, you are more than welcome to check us out in our chat room. I'll be trading live for a good chunk of the day. Let's get to work, people. Hey, this is a good market, but make sure that, you keep an eye on these indexes in case we break here. We'll have something, but you don't want to step in front of anything. So just be careful. There's wait out the open just a little bit, and you can always trade these kind of earnings plays. Like earnings plays are going to move no matter what happens in the market, right? So like if you have XYZ in the market, your earnings play is going to do whatever it's going to do, so you don't got to worry about that. All right, let's go have some fun, guys. In the mañanas, we shall rage. Let's go do it.